Hey, welcome back. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Hidden Histories, the Untold Files. Picture this, a room, but not just any room. Imagine walls covered in over 6 tons of honey gold amber, carved into intricate panels, inlaid with diamonds, emeralds, and rubies. Mirrors reflecting candlelight so that the entire space seems to glow from within, a treasure so magnificent it was dubbed the 8th wonder of the world. Now imagine that room gone, vanished, a ghost. That is the mystery we're chasing today. The story of the Amber Room is a story of breathtaking artistry, of war, of greed, and of a disappearance so complete it has taunted treasure hunters and historians for 80 years. This is a hunt for the Nazis' greatest stolen prize. To understand why it was stolen, we have to understand its birth. The Amber Room began not in Russia, where it was most famous, but in Prussia. In 1701, King Frederick I commissioned it for his Charlottenburg palace. Amber, this fossilized tree resin, is fragile, tricky to work with, and stunningly beautiful. Creating these panels was a monumental feat, but the story takes a turn in 1716, when Frederick's son, King Frederick William I, gifted the panels to Russia's Peter the Great as a diplomatic gesture to seal an alliance. It was a gift between giants. In Russia, the panels were expanded and perfected over decades by Italian and German craftsmen in the Catherine Palace at Tsarskoye Selo, near St. Petersburg. By the time it was finished, it covered about 180 square feet and was, by all accounts, utterly mesmerizing. For 2 centuries, it stood as a symbol of Russian imperial splendor. Then came the war. In 1941, Nazi Germany launched Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. As the Wehrmacht advanced on Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, the curators at the Catherine Palace knew the Amber Room was in grave danger. They tried to dismantle it, but the amber had dried out and become brittle over the centuries. Attempting to remove it, they found, caused it to crumble. In a desperate move, they tried to hide it by covering the walls with thin wallpaper and gauze. It was a futile effort. When the German army group North arrived, they found it. Recognizing its immense value and, in their twisted ideology, considering it a German treasure to be reclaimed, they dismantled it in just 36 hours. They packed the panels into 27 crates and shipped them west to Königsberg Castle in East Prussia, which is modern-day Kaliningrad, Russia. And there, in the castle's museum, under the direction of its curator, Alfred Rohde, the Amber Room was reassembled and put on display. For a few years, it was seen. And then, as the war turned against Germany, it vanished for good. This is where the real mystery ignites. In late 1943 and 1944, Allied bombing raids turned Königsberg into a firestorm. Did the Amber Room burn? Many historians think it's the simplest answer. But the official Soviet investigation, led after they captured the smoldering ruins of the castle in 1945, was inconclusive. No definitive traces of burned amber were found. And the stories began to multiply. That the crates were hidden in a secret bunker beneath the castle. That they were loaded onto a ship, the Karlsruhe or the Wilhelm Gustloff, which was later sunk in the Baltic Sea. That they were buried in a silver mine in the Ur Mountains. That they were secretly smuggled to South America. Every theory has its fervent believers and its tantalizing, fragmentary evidence. A single amber mosaic, one of 4 that decorated the room, did resurface in 1997 in Germany, in the possession of the family of a German soldier. But the rest? Silence. I have to tell you, as an engineer, this puzzle fascinates me on a structural level. 6 tons of material doesn't just evaporate. The logistics of hiding something that large, that fragile, under the chaotic collapse of a regime are mind-boggling. It would have required planning, resources, and secrecy. As a storyteller, I'm drawn to the human shadows in this tale. People like Alfred Rohde, the curator who last officially had charge of the room. He and his wife died mysteriously of typhus in 1945, just before they were to be questioned by the Soviets. Coincidence? Or something darker? Or the countless soldiers and civilians who might have seen something, who carried a secret to their graves? The Amber Room stopped being just an artifact. It became a legend, a ghost that haunts the landscape of World War II history. There's a profound and painful irony here that I can't ignore. The Amber Room was a symbol of peace, a gift between nations. It was then stolen as a trophy of war, a symbol of conquest. And in its disappearance, it became a symbol of loss, the incomprehensible loss of that war. For decades, it was a wound in the relationship between Germany and Russia. In a beautiful act of reconciliation, a new Amber Room was born. Starting in 1979 and finishing in 2003, Russian and German craftsmen collaborated, using old photographs and fragments of the original designs to recreate the room in the Catherine Palace. It's a stunning replica, a testament to human skill and a desire to heal history. But it also raises a haunting question. Is the original still out there? The existence of the replica almost makes the search for the original more poignant. It's not about the monetary value anymore. It's about solving the ultimate historical cold case. So where does that leave us? With a mystery that may never be solved. And maybe, in a strange way, that's fitting. The Amber Room in its original form was a product of a vanished world, of absolute monarchs and imperial courts. Its fate is tied to the greatest cataclysm of the modern age. Its absence is a powerful reminder. It reminds us that war doesn't just destroy lives, it erases beauty. It fragments our shared human heritage. Every time we look at a photograph of that glowing, golden room, we're not just looking at a lost treasure. We're looking at a question mark. We're looking at the shadow of the 20th century. For me, Ibnul, sitting here in New York City but thinking of the palaces of Russia and the bunkers of Germany, the lesson of the Amber Room isn't about the treasure itself. It's about the hunt. It's about our relentless need to seek, to piece together stories from the fragments left behind. It's about not letting things be forgotten. Whether it's at the bottom of the sea, buried in a forgotten mine, or lost to ashes, the story of the Amber Room forces us to remember the scale of what was taken and the enduring allure of what is lost. Thank you for joining me on this hunt through history. If you loved unraveling this mystery with me, please make sure you're following Hidden Histories wherever you get your podcasts. Share it with a friend who loves a good historical puzzle. This is Ibnul J. Farabi for Light Knot Studios. Until next time, keep questioning the past. Visit us at lightknotstudios.com.